Today on Talk Jeju, we're talking about KCTV Jeju's 20th anniversary. As always, Todd Thacker joins me in the studio. Well, Todd, we're here a day early on account of Labor Day on Friday, which is also, like I just said, the 20th anniversary of this company. And it seems like a good opportunity to spend this week's Talk Jeju going over what we here at KCTV English News and more generally at the company have been working so hard on over the years.
Sure, Nick. I mean, as a local news station and cable and internet provider, KCTV has really grown every year since its inception in 1995, and there's a lot to talk about.
Okay, so shall we dive first into a bit of the history and then the vision of KCTV?
Sure, that's an excellent place to start. So essentially, KCTV opened its doors again on May 1st, 1995.
Okay.
And that was when Jeju City got its first glimpse of cable TV for the first time. In a few short years, the company then expanded to open its Seogwipo office in August 1999. And then it was able then to expand its cable service to the entire island.
Now, I was living and working on Jeju Island in 2005 when KCTV moved to its current location where we are right now. I remember also that in that same year, KCTV announced that it was beginning digital broadcasting, the first in the nation.
Right, and then just a year later, in 2006, essentially it moved ahead with HD video broadcasts, which was quite groundbreaking. And then it gradually added another sort of array of services. That included things like offering islanders high-speed internet service, voice over internet protocol telephone service, internet-connected surveillance cameras.
And speaking of that, I understand that using its digital infrastructure, the KCTV works with the provincial government to run an island-wide CCTV monitoring system for roads, intersections, and school zones, things like that.
That's right, and the system is set up to keep students and the general public safe.
What other services is KCTV currently providing?
Well, as we mentioned on the English news at the end of each week, we have video-on-demand services,
right.
And for our subscribers. And I believe there are about 150,000 programs in that VOD library at the moment. Hotels on Jeju can also subscribe to tailor-made or custom-tailored internet service and customized broadcasts.
Okay.
And in 2011, July, we began broadcasting in full HD on Channel 7, this channel. And in January of last year, we launched a low-cost wireless phone service to the public.
Now, you said that KCTV started providing cable television to Jeju City and then gradually kind of expanded island-wide. What does the network look like now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, KCTV's network rings the island at present with 5 regional offices in Halim, Daejeong, Kimyeong, Pyosan, and Seogwipo.
Okay.
And all told, there's about 1,200 kilometers of optical cable and 2,700 kilometers of coaxial cable, and about 535 cells which link it all together. There's actually a total cable length of an astonishing 71,000 kilometers.
That's quite a bit. Now, with that network and I guess array of service, like you said, in place, what would you say is KCTV's objective in its serving of the community?
Sure. Well, KCTV's founder and chairman, Mr. Gong Sang-yong, he has always emphasized putting the customer first.
Okay.
So, for example, the customer service center here in this building is open every day of the year. And as a local news provider, of course, the company has heavily invested in the newsroom, and there are live news broadcasts in Korean every 2 hours from 7 a.m. in the morning to 11 at night. And I believe we're the only local media outlet in the country that offers local news Monday to Friday in both English and in Chinese.
We certainly have been, and I think we still are as well. Our audience for the news and other program, other than Koreans, would be who exactly?
Well, apart from obviously language learners for the English news, let's say, or the Chinese news, we've got a lot of non-Korean visitors to Jeju Island,
right.
Millions every year, as you know. And there's a growing number of multicultural families, making their homes here. So, and actually, you know what? I have a personal anecdote to tell you if you want.
Okay. Yes.
Well, last year, my uncle and aunt came to Korea, and this was their first time in the country, and when they got to Jeju, they turned on the English news, or the TV news, and found an English broadcast. They didn't even know that it was KCTV,
Okay.
but they said that they were really pleased to sort of get in touch with what was going on in the, the 20-minute news broadcast.
Excellent. I'm glad they enjoyed it. And as you know, we put a lot of effort into our 20-minute broadcasts here.
Yes, and just to add to that, I mean, of course, all local and national news outlets, they're trying to provide accurate, up-to-date news, but they're trying to do it as efficiently as possible as well.
Of course.
So, not many people know this, but KCTV has, for example, the news team joined the Jeju Reporters Association in 2011, and the National Association of Korean Journalists in 2006, the first outlet in Jeju to do so.
And in that vein, I'd say, in the past few years, KCTV has partnered with Seoul-based news companies like YTN, Arirang TV, MBN, and TV Chosun in order to expand its programming offerings for its customers. Now, also, original Jeju-related programming is 70% of the Channel 7 broadcasts, I believe.
Yes, that's right. Now, that includes shows in Korean like Special Fishing, also Talk Jeju, which is kind of the Korean version of what we do here, and Hi Jeju, and many more.
Now, we mentioned Channel 7, but there's also Channel 20, which launched in March 2010, and that's kind of an information channel, VOD and more, and services. And there's also services like real-time airline and flight info for Jeju International Airport, weather, wedding announcements, classified ads, things like that.
And people can also go and download and use the KCTV iPhone and Android apps to access much of that information as well.
Now, you said there was an element of giving back to the community in the company's mandate. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. Starting in 1999, KCTV began supporting cultural and artistic endeavors, and as you said, giving back to the local community. So, it sponsored performances by artists and musicians, like, for example, a few names you might recognize: soprano Jo Soo-mi and Shin Young-ok, and violinist Sarah Jang. Here in the building, we have a 100-seat KCTV hall, which is a cultural space, essentially, for Jeju residents, and there are performances and lectures held there regularly.
Sports too. I'd like to point out sports too. KCTV and the Korea Taekwondo Association also host the annual Jeju Peace National Taekwondo competition, which is broadcast live by the station and is attended by over 10,000 participants. Similarly, we have the KCTV badminton tournament, and that supports local amateur clubs and helps develop, I guess, the skills of local players.
Right, and all KCTV sponsors or broadcasts about 10 different sports events.
We're getting towards the end here. Is there anything you'd like to add before we sign off?
Well, Nick, you'll recall, at the start of the year, in recognition of this 20th anniversary, the company put out a statement outlining basically 7 promises to the community for this year, and that runs the gamut from increased coverage of the elections and the environment in our news and other reporting. Then there's also right through we're going to be covering more about how to protect the Jeju language from extinction and other such Jeju-related topics.
All right. Thank you very much, Todd. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
If you have any questions or comments, please email them to talkjeju@kctvjeju.com. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you'll join us next time. If you can't wait until then, though, visit us online at eng.kctvjeju.com or follow us on Facebook. 시청해주신 여러분, 고맙습니다.